Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Arlen Visser. I am one of the senior health specialists here at Art Jeter and Company. We are excited to present Manhattan Life's Medicare supplement and dental vision hearing. Before we get started, we will have everybody muted, and at any time you can type your questions in on the right, and we will address them at the end. I'd like to introduce Kemp Cole. He's the regional vice president with Manhattan Life. He'll be talking about the Medicare supplement, multi-discount, and dental vision hearing. And if you need a recording of this webinar, you can contact Art Jeter and Company at 800-228-0008 or email seniorhealth@jeter.com and we can send you the recording. All right, Kemp, I will
Yep.
give you the presentation. Here you go.
All right, Arlen, thanks. And appreciate everybody that we have out there with us today. And want to let you know Jeter has been a great partner of ours, and we always give them the best deal because they are a trusted partner, right good business, and that's important to us. So talking about Medicare, you may see Medicare on CSG on their where they publish rates. You may see Manhattan out on that portal, but those are not the rates that you guys have. We've got special rates that our internal partners have, and Jeter is a part of that. So we don't publish those on CSG. Those are just for our trusted partners. So if you need the rates or anything like that, just contact Jeter and they can get you the rates and what states it's covered in, and I'll cover some of that today too. So anyways, we get started here. Thought we'd talk, this is kind of what we're going to talk about, high level, what we're going to go through. And then if there's questions, like I said, type them in the chat box and they can answer it there at Jeter, or at the end, we'll have time for questions and I can review it then. So first of all, Manhattan, who is Manhattan? They're one of the largest privately held insurance companies, over 170 years old. And I'll tell you one of the things that I like about working for a private company is they make decisions based on the policyholder and the agent. They understand that's where their responsibility lies. I've been with companies that were stock held companies, and they make decisions based on shareholder value, which that doesn't always line up what's best for the client or the agent. So, and being around this long, they have to have been doing quite a few things correct, or they wouldn't still be there. Manhattan has acquired companies over the years, and you'll see these different names on policies. With the individual policies that we're dealing with today, and the main thing I deal with, most everything is written through Manhattan Life Assurance or Standard Life. When you call Manhattan, one of the important things is you always have a person answer the phone call, and I think that's real important. If they're tied up, leave a message, they'll always call you back. And these are the companies that make up Manhattan. And like I was saying, for the individual products, most of them are written through Manhattan Life Assurance or Standard Life. It really doesn't make any difference what it says. They're all Manhattan, and that's the main thing that you want to see. But some of the policies in some states are filed under Standard, and some of them are under Manhattan. So. But the bottom line is Manhattan does all the administration, and they're all the same. So these are some of the different lines of products that we offer. And, you know, I deal with the individual life and health and the Medicare supplement, but they also do group, worksite, stop loss, annuities. I know how to spell those things, but I don't ever work with them. And if that was something that was of interest to you, we could get you in contact with the right person. This is just kind of gives you what our footprint is in the United States, where our office is at. Like I said, Houston is where most of our operations are at. They still have a token presence in Manhattan, hence the name. That's where we started at. And but then they have offices all across the country supporting the different lines that we write. So here we talk about Medicare Parts A and B. I've got these slides are designed for people that don't even know anything about Medicare. And from talking to Arlen, I think you guys have a little, you guys have a working knowledge of Medicare. So some of these slides will scoot through there pretty quick. Anyway, just breaking it down here to what is Medicare Part A and B, and then taking a look at, you know, what ages are in that, that space. And so I think it gives you a pretty good picture there. And, you know, we all know Medicare is not going to cover everything. That's why we need a Medicare supplement to help cover those expenses not covered by Medicare. We'll cover the dental and vision at the end, but on that, on the dental vision hearing, that's an optional policy and Medicare doesn't cover it, but I'm getting ahead of myself. There you can see the footprint of where the MedSup is approved today. We're still actively pursuing the states that we're not approved in, and but you can see we got a pretty good swath of the United States there. Here are the plans that we offer. You know, A, where you have to have it, you got it. Plan C, Plan F, you know, and the star over there tells you what that is. You know, if you're on Medicare before January 1st, 2020, you can have those plans, but you got on Medicare after that point, Plan G or Plan N are your two options. And it just depends on where your client's comfortable at as to which policy would be best for them. And as we look at our next slide, so we're talking about enrollment, open enrollment, guaranteed issue, and everybody else. Oh, go ahead and flip it. Open enrollment is, I'm going to say, a majority of what we do. That's like when they're turning 65, they've got that 6-month window to take any policy they want without any underwriting. Guaranteed issue is certain situations, you know, where they're guaranteed if they're coming off a COBRA plan, they could be guaranteed issue. And then everybody else is they just go by the normal rules to get on Medicare. So let's take a look at the next slide. So here we're talking about open enrollment, 64 and a half, you know, need to be applied for Part B of Medicare. And that's the best time to catch people at 64 and a half. And you can usually get them in and keep the rates at a good pace. They'll stay with you for a long period of time. Guaranteed issue. I'm not going to read all this to you, but you know, there's the rules for how guaranteed issue works. And they refer back to the Guide to Health Insurance for People with Medicare. It covers it in detail, but here's kind of a high-level view of how it would work in each one of these situations. Underwriting, you've got an agent guide with every policy that Manhattan has, and I would strongly suggest to get familiar with the agent guide because it'll tell you what they won't take. Has a list of medications and so on, and be familiar with that. It's got a height and weight chart, smoker, non-smoker rates. So, but the underwriting is pretty simple. We do want to have a good pool of people. We don't take everybody, but we're very reasonable about who we take. Go to the next one. This is something unique to us. Expedited underwriting. So if you take an e-application, turn in the e-application, and then you can call this 800 number. You've got to have the applicant with you on the phone, and you'll talk to an underwriter, and then if need be, they'll ask some questions to follow up with some things, and they can tell you right there on the spot if they'll take that policy or not, or take that applicant would be better. So as you see that bottom point there, it has to be the same day that you submit the e-application. So this is kind of unique, and I think it's a nice path there. And talking about the health questions, if you're in the open enrollment or guaranteed issue, you still ask the health questions or prescriptions, list those down there, but they're going to be issued anyway. And then so it just kind of gives you an idea what to be asking for, what to look for. So these are the states that if you're on Medicare disability, that we will accept Medicare disability plan A for them in these states that are colored here. So, and even if your state's not on there, the company may voluntarily offer coverage for those people. Just a phone call to Jetters or to Manhattan could get that answered for you pretty quick. I think most of you probably know disability business is usually not real profitable, so we're not just running out looking for it for sure. So you've got a household discount. If the husband and wife both buy the Medicare supplement, they can get a 7% household discount, and that's for people that are married. So walking through here, this is how do you know, you may be asking, well, how do I apply? How do I use the e-application? This is talking about, you know, once you get your agent number, you register it here, and then click there. Once you get registered, then you can go to Manhattan 2.0. This is the dashboard. This is what everybody sees when they first sign in. You can manage your business on the left-hand side. It's got all kinds of great information. Or we could hit Launch Manhattan Direct 2.0, and it will take us to the e-application process or quoting process. So this would be the next screen you would see. Get Started is what you would hit. And then once you hit Get Started, it's going to ask you for some basic information on the next slide. And so this is all you need to get a quote going or to take an application. Birth date, male or female. It'll automatically request the policy effective the next business day, but that's just the default. You can write them at 64.5 if you want, 6 months out, or you could update it 30, 60 days. Anyway, you don't have to do it the next business day. Anyway, once you enter that information, then every product in the zip code that you put down for that age of person will pop up, and anything that they're going to be eligible for. So like here, we're sticking with Medicare supplement. We would click Medicare supplement. And before I forget, if you did the dental vision hearing in addition to the Medicare supplement, you can do it all with one application if you're doing the e-app. So anyway, I referred to this already one time, the agent underwriting guide. Every policy has agent underwriting guide, and it's very specific, you know, about what they'll take, what they won't take, have a prescription list, height and weight chart. Anyway, it's a really good resource, and you can get that by yourself. You don't have to get it from the upline. Okay, so I'll pause and take a breath there. That was the Medicare supplement. And like I said, I went through it at a pretty good pace because I felt like you guys are probably educated up on Medicare supplement, but thought we'd cover a few details with it. But now we're talking about the dental vision hearing select. And the easiest way I put this is if you don't offer them the dental, somebody else will. So it's almost gotten to be a commodity anymore. People just expect to have it. So, and this policy pays regardless of any other coverage. It's an indemnity that will pay direct to the insured. We will pay the doctor or facility if they want to assign their benefits to them. And this slide just shows that, you know, most adults are going to have gum problems or teeth problems. And anyway, it's designed, yeah, there's several click-throughs here. It's designed so you can meet the client's needs with their pocketbook. So this is a really good slide here. I like it because you've got that flexibility. The dental is the base policy, so you got to have the dental to get anything else. The vision and the hearing are both riders, so you could do the dental and vision by themselves, or you could do the dental and hearing with just those two, or you could do all three. Again, meeting your client's needs with their pocketbook. So you can go with a 0 deductible or a 100 deductible. I can tell you, in my opinion, the 0 deductible is better because it causes less confusion, and I don't think you save enough money in the premiums to make it worthwhile. Guaranteed renewable, guaranteed issue, so you don't have to worry about whether it's going to be accepted or not. They can choose their own dentist, so whether they're in network or out of network, we're going to pay either way. You know, the only thing about if they can do it in network, those dollars will stretch out a lot farther. And since the last time I talked to you guys, we have added a $5,000 yearly maximum now. So you've got the $1,000, $1,500, $3,000, or $5,000 a year per person benefit. On the orthodontia, which is braces, we'll cover adults. And I haven't been told otherwise, but as far as I know, we're the only company that will cover adult braces. And that includes Invisalign. So that's a really good benefit, and no waiting period for the dental services except orthodontia, and it's guaranteed issue. We already covered that. So the no waiting period, the orthodontia, the 5,000 max, those are some big deals there. And so we'll go to the next page. We won't spend much time here. There's some check marks that'll come up talking about the agent guide. This is probably the 6th time I've mentioned the agent guide, and it's priceless. It answers all your questions. It's written in 5th grade level English, so everybody should be able to pick it up, read it, and know what they read. It talks about ordering supplies, any marketing that you might need, if you need help on commissions, premium payments, applications, all of it's there. So this has a couple of click-throughs also. Might click one more time, and it talks about in-network. If you're, if you're contracted, if you go in-network, they're already contracted, and they've agreed to take whatever fees that they have agreed to there. Out-of-network is usual and customary charges. And so that's what I say, we're going to pay whether you're in or out of network, so you don't have to worry about being tied to a network. It pays either way. So if you click again, yeah, that will light up. And then let's go through the benefits. So your preventive services in network pays 100% day one. Out of network, 80% of the usual customary reasonable charges day one. Same thing with basic services. The first year, they're going to cover 65% for basic, and then starting the second year, it'll go up to paying 80% and stay at 80% every year after that. And it's the same numbers there for out of network, 65% first year, 80% after that. Major services, which is like implants or crowns, it'll cover on those 20% first year, 50% second year on. Other medically necessary services, that's just telling you if the dentist says it's medically necessary and you don't see the words that what he's doing for you there, we're going to cover it just like a major service. So if the doctor says you need it, it will be covered. Now in orthodontia, one point to make, it's got a 12-month waiting period before it'll pay on that benefit, and it has to be in network. You have to use a network provider for the braces. So the first year, there's not any coverage, but starting the second year, it'll pay 50% up to $1,500 per person to have braces on their teeth. And let's go to the next slide. We talked about the dental was the base plan. That's what we just covered. And then here's the two riders that are optional that you can add to it. And you can read it as well as I can. I don't need to read all of it to you, but I'll just make a point on eyeglass frames. There's a 6-month waiting period before it pays on that. And then on hearing, there's a 12-month waiting period on it. And the premiums are really good on the hearing part. And I think for your older clients, this is almost a for sure that you need to get. And it covers $750 per ear per year. So you've got $1,500 worth of benefits. If they have to get new batteries, if they accidentally put it in the washing machine, washed it, have to get it repaired, stepped on it, got to get it repaired, or buying brand new hearing aids. It's a great value for sure. And if they wear glasses or contacts, it's good. The last point I'll make on this slide is there's no network. There's no network involved to use the hearing or vision. Whatever doctor they go to will be covered. So on the next slide, it talks about Carrington. That's who the network provider is. And you can choose your own doctor. Again, if they go in network, it makes the dollar stretch out farther. They've got over 100,000 dentists nationwide, and we're just talking about the network for dental. Let's go to the next one. Carrington has, go ahead and click it a couple more times. There you go. They've got a website you can go to and to find out if the dentist is on there. But again, we're going to cover them whether they're in or out of network. So you've got the rates there. Again, you've got choices. You know what your client, what their pocketbook can handle. And so you just go to the appropriate rate, and then you tailor that policy to fit the client's needs. The rates are competitive, and there are the premiums for the riders. So like I was talking about the hearing, ages 65 to 74, for that hearing, it's $3.50 a month. Husband and wife, $7 a month. So I think it's a really good value for the older clients. And then on the vision, if they wear contacts or glasses, it's probably a good value for them also. So they can have one of these, both of them, or neither one, whatever fits best with them. Very simple. So let's take a look at our next slide. Is going to be on the application. This is the paper application, so it's pretty easy. Front and back. If you do the e-application, it figures all the premiums for you. So this is not lengthy. It's easy to fill out. Guaranteed renewable, guaranteed issue. Click it. Yeah, click it one more time. It just asks, are you replacing any coverage? And there's the states that we have it approved in. We just got it approved in North Carolina. So I haven't updated that map, but North Carolina now has the dental vision hearing select policy. And then we've got it applied for in most of those other states. So we covered a lot of territory in 26 minutes. That's pretty amazing. Since Arlen and I are not technological guys, I would consider that a minor win. But why don't we open it up and see if you guys have any questions. I can't see the chat box, so I don't know if you want to open it up to let them verbally ask questions or just do it with the chat box or answer them later, Arlen?
At this time, we got a couple questions. When you do a Medicare supplement with dental, vision, hearing, is there discounts or anything? I don't know if I've seen anything.
You've got a discount for a husband and wife on the Med Sup, but there's not a discount right in both plans
Okay. Okay.
together. Yeah, just whatever the rates are is what they are. I do have one surprise announcement for you guys today. The company had just started, they'll announce it next week, but they just started a contest for the home health care, the home health care select, and the Omniflex. That's the new policy that we just launched that covers nursing home and assisted living. You'll get double points for the trip contest writing any of those products from today up through the end of September. I didn't put a slide on there because I just found out we got approval. And Arlen, I'll send that to you so you'll have next week
Okay.
that there'll be an official announcement, but I'm kind of preempting them, giving you guys a heads up so you can get rolling with it quicker.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Medicare supplement Plan N. Are you seeing enrollments for Medicare supplement Plan N go up? There's a lot of questions from agents that I deal with on the excess charges of the Medicare supplement.
Yeah, and I can just tell you what I hear from people in the field, what they're telling me is most of them still try to do Plan G just because they feel comfortable with that. But at the same time, you guys tell me, I don't really hear about a lot of doctors charging the excess charge. It seems like most of them have kind of come in line and are accepting Medicare's approved amount. But I'd be curious what your people would say.
Yeah, I know that there's certain states that don't have excess charges, and I think there's 8 states that do not have excess charges for a Plan N. But I was just curious on your part if you hear that.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's probably on a state by state basis. And
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Plan G, I'm going to see that a majority of the time. But
right.
Plan N is a good plan if they understand about the copays.
Yeah, yeah. Dental, vision, hearing. So there's basically four plans available. There's a dental only, dental vision, and hearing, dental vision and hearing. So there's 4 different types. Is that correct to say?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
exactly right.
And then coverage. Let's go to coverage on major services.
Uh-huh.
20% major services. Is that day one, or is there
Day one.
first of the month?
Yep. Yep. Day one for the first 12 months. And so what most people say, well, 20% is better than no percent.
Yeah. Yep.
And
And so is
so
there any time of the month for that 20%?
yep, any time of
Okay.
the month.
Okay.
So long as their policy is effective.
Yeah. The credit for prior coverage, if they have existing dental plan, they want to switch over to Manhattan Life, is there any kind of discounts or
They
any kind
don't
of
take that into
thing?
consideration.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Good question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if there's any other questions in play there, but I think the main thing is on the Medicare supplement with Manhattan Life, it's very important to call Art Jetter and Company for pricing instead of what you see out on the field, because the rates are lower than what you normally would see on the street that's available. So we can provide those too. Do you have, an agent was asking, do you have like a rate sheet on, like if an agent would call in and say, can you email me or print off a PDF of what the rates are?
Yeah,
65. Okay.
they could get that from you. I mean, I could give it to them too, but
Okay. Okay.
whatever state they want, we could just send them an electronic copy and they could print it off or however they want
Yeah.
to do it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Can they be downloaded?
Download it into what? You
Yeah,
mean,
go on to, so if they go onto this site here on the far
yeah.
right, we're getting a quote, rates and products for Houston, Texas for Medicare supplement. Um,
Yeah.
how do they get that information? This for
So
Houston,
they would
Texas.
do this process that you're going through right there. Get started, put that basic info, and then you'd click on MOA Med Sup, and it would pop up what the rates are for both plans or all the plans.
Okay. As far as the
That's
PDF
what
version of that Houston, Texas example, is that
we
possible?
you would have to supply that, Arlen. You guys
Oh,
would, or I could supply it to you, and you could supply it to them.
okay, but it's not downloadable. Is that what you're saying?
That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah. Okay, I follow
Okay.
you now. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And do you already have a copy of all the state's rates?
No, I can get that from you later on.
That's
Okay.
what I was going to say. I'll send it to
Yeah.
you so you'll have every state.
Yeah. Yep. Send it to seniorhealth@jetter.com. Another question came in electronic with Manhattan Life to enroll somebody on a Medicare supplement or even a dental vision hearing plan. Everything is done electronically. There's no paper involved. You don't have to uh, do it by paper. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll take it either way, but the electronic is preferred. They can read
Okay.
your writing. You know,
Yeah.
you can't turn it in unless everything's filled out. It's just a really clean way to do business.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. I think I've had agents ask me if they do paper, but I don't know what that reasoning behind them with Manhattan Life have to ask about paper applications. But no, it's everything is done electronically when you submit the application. And is there like if somebody calls up, asks for a dental vision hearing product, does an agent have to enroll, or can the customer enroll themselves into a dental vision hearing?
That's a really good question. You have access, and this is for another day, but
Yeah.
there is a self-enrollment link.
Okay. Oh,
And
is there?
yeah, to where you just would go in there and make a self-enrollment link to send to your client, and then they would fill it out themselves and send it in, and you would
Okay.
get credit for it.
That's okay. So there's a step that an agent can go in and create a self-enrollment link. Okay.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Um,
yeah. And it's actually in Manhattan 2.0, and I've got a PDF of that I
yeah.
could send you so you could have a copy of it.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Yeah, I
Send that
will.
over. Yep. Yep. Okay. Um, and there's another question that came in, but the forms are something that our Jetter and company has to supply in the application, we have to supply the agents and the agency with Manhattan Life. It's not downloadable. So yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. I think that's about it for questions there. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So
And so if there's
they
any other
can.
yeah, if there's
I
any
was
other
going to say
further questions anybody have,
they
yeah.
can do paper if they
Uh-huh.
want. It just takes a lot longer, and you're open to mistakes a lot more. But they
Right.
will still take paper.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds
Yep.
good. Well, I appreciate it taking your time out of a busy day and going through this. I think this is going to be really good. So,
Yeah. 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 I
yep.
know it will be.
Sounds
It'll
good.
be a good tool.
Yep. All right. Well, have yourself a great day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. You guys have a great one, and look forward to having more visits with you.
Sounds good. We'll talk
All
soon.
right.
All right.
See ya.
All right. See ya.